Some of the most common calculation errors I see in students' work relate to rounding their final answer to the correct number of significant figures. And so in order to be able to round your answer to the correct number of sig figs, you need to be able to determine how many sig figs are in a number. So the purpose of significant figures is to communicate to your reader how accurately you made your measurement. So let's figure out how many sig figs are in each of these measurements. 4.3 milligrams, that has two non-zero digits. That means that this number contains 2 sig figs, because any number that is not a zero is significant. So that's the easiest rule to follow. This number, 4.03 milligrams, this number has 3 significant figures, because a zero that's sandwiched in between 2 non-zero digits is significant. 0.43. Okay, this is when things start getting troublesome for most students, when zeros start getting involved. Any zero to the left of a non-zero digit is not significant. That's a leading in zero. Okay, because you could rewrite this as 4.3 times 10 to the negative first. That would be something that you could technically do. 10 to the negative first. All right, and when you do that, notice that that zero goes away. So what you actually measured is right here. So this number has 2 significant figures as well. The same thing is here, right? I'm just elaborated this. All these zeros leading in are insignificant because you didn't actually measure this. What you measured is this. These are just placeholders, okay? So when you rewrite this in scientific notation, you note that all these go away. Those are just placeholders. Those placeholders are just telling you how far from the decimal place the measurement actually is, okay? So this number also contains 2 significant figures. I have students tell me all the time that this has 5 sig figs, and that's incorrect, right? Because the zeros to the left of a non-zero digit are not significant. Now, zeros to the right of a non-zero digit are significant if and only if there's a decimal present. So this zero is significant. This number would have 3 significant figures because this zero is being measured. Okay, so this is a measurement made, for instance, on a balance that had a digital output that was 2 decimal places. So this zero is significant. This answer has 3 sig figs. This answer would have 4 sig figs. Again, these zeros are significant because it's telling me as a reader that I was measuring on a balance that gave me digital output and it was good to 2 decimal places, and that both of these measured values are 0. Okay, so this measurement's actually more accurate than this one is. This is telling me when you've got a 0 here, a 0 with a decimal after it, that 0 is significant. Again, because you're telling the reader that it's 40 and you're not sure of anything after that, but you know and you are confident that that measurement is 40, but you don't know if it's 40.1, 40.7, whatever. You don't know that. But that decimal right there tells me, hey, I am confident that it is 40. All right, now 40 with no decimal place, that is not a very significant measurement. That one would only have 1 sig fig because this lack of a decimal means it could be 39, it could be 41, I'm not really sure, right? So that lack of a decimal means that this 0 is insignificant. So the only measured value is that 4, right? And then I'm approximating it's 40. Again, same thing holds true here. 100 with no decimal place has 1 sig fig, whereas 100 with a decimal place would have 3 sig figs, but I went an extra step and added 2 more on here, so this measurement has 5 sig figs. So let's go through and recap how many sig figs each one of these has. This one is 2 sig figs. This one is 3 sig figs. This one is 2 sig figs. This one is 2 sig figs. This one is 3 sig figs. This one is 4 sig figs. This one is 2 sig figs. This one is 1 sig fig. This one is 1 sig fig. And this one is 5 sig figs. I hope this exercise helps you in determining the number of significant figures, and you can also consult the notes for further examples.